I also have the email and the course messages. So these are very important things that we really should definitely activate within the course to have some kind of communication and absolutely essential documentation. As mentioned, it's a form of communication. Announcements can be named message news. We're dealing with a Blackboard course where tools are named announcements, assignments, tests. For graduate studies, we name tools to fit our current situation, like message news. Students follow announcements or news through this tool. Every edition appears at the list's end. We're dealing with a course from the Blackboard system, and the tools are named such as announcements, assignments, and tests. For graduate studies, we will name the tool to fit our current situation, like message news. I can make it available and send it, and you will notice new items appear at the list's end. It is the last item, and I can leave it or move it up by clicking to perform the action. Any announcements or news I post, I make it available and send it. Each edition becomes the last item. Hold and drag the mouse to move it to message news. It's the last item in the list, so I can either leave it as the last item here, which is fine, or if I want to move it up, I need to click on it like this. The continuous clicking means I shouldn't let go of the mouse. I keep holding down the left mouse button and drag it up until I start moving it up like this to the message news. Now I have the announcements page showing from which I can create announcements for the students so they can start following these announcements on their Blackboard page. So now you come to create an announcement and start making the announcement, right? And the announcement can be in any format. Of course, I need to have a subject for the announcement. Continuous means that he will not leave the mouse with what is in his hand, the mouse, which is the left click, and it is better to press the mouse like this, left click, and drag up until I start to go up to this point above the news of the message. I now have a page for advertisements appearing here through which I can create announcements for the students, create an announcement. Of course, a subject is needed. At this point, it's announcement 1, and write the message here. We have the tool options. You can enlarge the font size or change the font color easily. You can add an image, insert local files or images. Adding items is simple. Adjust alignment easily. So, the title of the announcement is Announcement 1. Write the text of the message for the announcement. We have the tool options. You can enlarge the font size or change the font color easily. In the announcement, you can add an image. Start inserting local files and see any image you want to add. Adding things is easy. You can also adjust the alignment easily. You'll also notice that the announcement itself has a duration. Should it be always available or limited to a date, visible for a week, 2 weeks, then expire? You can add an image and insert local files. You can see any image you want to add. Adjusting alignment is simple. The announcement has a duration. Should it be always available or limited to a date, visible for a week or two, then expire, start and end at specific dates, or no restrictions. Keep it always available for students. A good feature is sending a copy via email. The announcement has a duration. Do you need it visible for a week or two, then expire? The announcement can be time limited or always visible. It can also be emailed to students. So it can start showing after a certain date and time and end at a specific date and time, or we can leave it without any date restrictions. We can just keep the announcement available all the time so that the students can always see it. One of the good things here is also sending a copy of the announcement via email. So the advertisement here appears on the advertisement page that is located here within the course. And at the same time, the text of this advertisement will go to the student's email by email, as you can see on the email. But there's also a very important point regarding email. It's better for the student to register their university email. I recommend that both the professor and the student use their university email for communication. Sometimes IT security measures can block announcements or emails from reaching personal accounts. That's why messages are sent through the university email, which is secure. After creating the announcement, click send. You'll see who published it and when it was published. This means that it prevents announcements and emails from reaching personal email accounts like Gmail. That's why messages are sent through the university email without issues, and it's the safest way to communicate. After that, you create the announcement and click the send button. You've created the announcement. You'll also notice who published it, which course it was published in, and when it was published. The title and the text of the announcement will be visible. Everything is documented for the student to see. The student view shows this layout when they log in. So after that, you create the announcement and click the send button here. In this case, you've created the announcement and documented it. You'll notice here who published it, which course it was published in, and when it was published, like on Wednesday, February 1st, at what time. So, what was the topic? What was the title and the text of the announcement? Everything is documented here for the student to see. So, when the student comes in, if we check the student view, you can see that this layout reflects what the student sees when they log in. When you check and go to the message news, you'll see this is the layout that appears for the student. This is the layout that appears for the student. So, when you do something specific, it's best to do a preview to see how this format or thing you created will actually appear to the student. What will it look like? There might be something specific, a problem here or there, so you can adjust this format. You can modify it. After you've done the preview, and we're now in the student's view, she will go to something called End Preview to return to your personal page, the instructor's page. I'm going to end it now. And of course, here at the end, I'm going to delete it so that no data related to me shows up, like something called a preview. The preview means that the attempt or the thing I did doesn't show up on my page in the course as an instructor. I'm still in this state. I did a preview for the student and everything looks good. Thank God, everything seems fine. I see that these message news announcements are very important, and the student can see the announcement right here on the same page. Also, when you activate in the settings to send a copy to the email, then it is not just that the announcement is on the student's page and on your page on Blackboard, but it is also a copy to the email. And as we said, the email is preferred by everyone. Everyone. All right. One of the other important things for you is the tool connection. What tool do I want to connect with right now? Here's a tool that if you look at it like this, in this section, you'll find something called Course Messages. So I have Course Messages now, and I can name them, for example, Course Messages or Messages, whatever you prefer. Now, if you want to put a name and then send it, I also have the messages available here. This is the message, and I can click on it and start to view it. So I have Course Messages, and when we open this section, as you can see, there's something called the inbox and sent messages. It's very simple. The idea is just like email, where you send a message and the student can reply to you with a message, but it's like an internal email system within the course. So here you come to, you can put the name here and then send it. I also have the messages available here. This is the message, and I can click on it and start to view it. So I have course messages, and when we open this section, as you can see, there's something called the inbox and sent messages. It's very simple. The idea is just like email. You send a message, and the student replies to you with a message, but it's like an internal email system within the course. So here you come to create the message, and you'll feel that the idea is very simple, just like sending an email normally. You need to specify who you're sending it to. It's very simple, really. The idea is just like email. You send a message, right? And the student replies to you with a message, but it's like an email system that's internal within the course. So here, you come to create the message, and you'll feel that the idea is very straightforward, just like sending an email normally. You need to specify who you're sending it to. Creating the message is very straightforward, and you'll feel that the idea is indeed very simple. just like sending an email normally. You need to easily specify who you're sending it to, and you have to determine who will receive it.